Dear members of the 115th Congress.
Dear members of the 115th Congress.
Dear members of the 115th Congress.
American confidence in our government is at an all-time low.
Accountability in our politics is in woefully short supply.
Perhaps most concerning of all, a majority of Americans, once relentlessly optimistic and hopeful about America's future, are now just as likely to conclude that America's most prosperous and productive days are behind us.
We decided to run for Congress because we know that America's best days are still ahead, but confidence in our government and our democracy must be restored.
To do so, we must acknowledge the corrosive role that money and special interests have played in shaking the American people's faith in the system.
This is why we write to you today, to put Congress on notice.
We are determined to reform the system and spark this restoration of American confidence should we be given the humble honor of serving our respective districts in the United States Congress.
We share the American people's impatience and frustration over the lack of reforms and transparency and the role of money in our politics.
We hear day in and day out that special interests are drowning out the voices of everyday citizens, to the point where many Americans no longer believe their votes even count.
Restoring faith in our elections and in the integrity of our elected officials should be a top priority that all members of Congress can agree upon.
Without these reforms, we will be unable to truly regain the public's trust or tackle the challenges of our day, like the cost of health care and prescription drugs, the opioid epidemic, or building an economy that is strong for working families.
For those reasons, these reforms must be sweeping and they must be bold. They must be the very first item that Congress addresses.
We must not yield on this demand. The American public is counting on us.
If the American people want to elect a Democratic majority this November, we must heed their call to finally and categorically change the way Washington works.
Our system is badly broken. Our institutions are at the brink, and our democracy is demonstrably at risk.
However, to us, America remains that shining city upon a hill. And should it be the will of the American people this November, we are committing ourselves to strengthening that city and restoring the American people's faith in our country and its political system.
Signed,
Tom Malinowski,
Sharice Davids,
Jason Crow,
Katie Porter,
Antonio Delgado,
Alyssa Slotkin,
Andy Kim,
Max Rose,
Abigail Spanberger,
Lauren Baer,
Colin Allred,
Dean Phillips.